Okay, there we go. Now we are recording. Good morning, everyone. I'm just going to repeat what I said before we started recording. The purpose of today's call is to bring everybody on the call and those people that are going to listen to them watch the call later, a very basic understanding of how our product works and why it works and what we're bringing to the world. And this really is the benefit of the new team members that are growing at such a rapid rate, because those of us that have been doing this for 6, 7, 8 years now, we have a very good understanding of how the tech works and how to talk about it. And I want to make sure that our new teammates and our new associates also have the best possible explanation of being able to describe and talk about our products and our technology in simple language. And I have a horrible habit of falling into geek mode and using words that are not part of everyday language, right? So I apologize for that. So I've been working very diligently to make this as simple and easy for us to have conversations with everyone, okay? And I would like for every new member that's joining to watch this as many times as you need to watch it, right? So I'm not going to be like, so I'm going to go slow. Not because you can't understand, but because I want to make sure that we're all not going to the next step until that step is understood. And I've tried to use simple analogies today to make sure that we can have that conversation on the phone, we can have that conversation at a coffee shop, at lunch, at dinner, wherever we are, without having to remember complicated terms or processes or theories or anything like that. Okay, so and if it's not good enough, we'll do it again. Well, I'll try to do better. Okay, so that's the purpose today. I don't know how long it's going to take, gang. So if you're getting bored, let me know and I'll speed it up, but I'm going to go very, very slow. Okay, so here we go. We're going to get started. Share the screen from the beginning. Okay, so I'm going to focus our technology understanding and our application of our tech in our patches, because that's where the growth is. And that's the new stuff, right? So let's start with the new stuff and then we'll get to the other stuff. But let's start with how does our tech work and how does it apply to our patches? So we have these amazing patches, our freedom patch for pain, our flow patch for ADHD and cognitive decline, our REM patch for sleep, our focus patch for surprisingly better focus and concentration, our peace patch for stress, our liberty patch for movement, mobility, vitality, our defend patch for immune system support, and our victory patch for ultimate athletic performance. Okay, so I'm going to start here. It's all about our nervous system, and I think this is key for our understanding. Our brain, our central nervous system, control every physical, biological, chemical, emotional, psychological function in our body. Bring that again. Okay, so our central nervous system at the top there controls our biochemistry, controls our biology, controls our biophysics. Okay, so what's biophysics? Biophysics is the muscle recruitment. It's how we stand, our balance, our ability to walk, run, crawl, climb, how we stand, all biophysics, our posture, all biophysics. The biology, I think we know what it is, right? It's our organs, it's how they're working, their function, any issues with those, their regulation, all of that is our biology. And the biochemistry is the chemistry in our body, in our brain, all of it. And our central nervous system controls all of it. These are all interrelated, but our central nervous system, our brain, is at the zenith, at the very top of this pyramid. Do we all agree on this? We can all agree that that's a fact, right? Because if we don't agree that that's a fact, we're not going to be able to work with our products, right? Because we have to agree that our central nervous system is in control. Okay, agreed? Good. I don't know if you guys are agreeing, but I'm going to make the big assumption and say that you agree. Okay, so what does that mean? right? What does that mean? That means our nervous system, our brain, the central nervous system affects everything. So a better nervous system means a better everything. Granted, if our nervous system, if our brain controls everything and our central nervous system controls everything, the better that is, the better everything else is in our body, our mind, our psychology, our physiology. All of it gets better. We have to agree on this standpoint. Because if we don't agree, then we can't recommend our products. If we don't agree that our central nervous system affects everything, controls everything, and that a better nervous system means a better everything, then how can we recommend our products? Because that's what our products are doing. So we have to understand that. And this is a very wide statement, but no scientist, no doctor, no one can argue with this. Our central nervous system affects everything. So a better nervous system means better everything. Okay. Because if we have a poor nervous system or a dysfunctioning or a malfunctioning nervous system, everything's going to be really, really bad, right? So we got to, this is just very generic. We can have this conversation. Say, hey, because we know that our nervous system controls everything, right? So if our nervous system, or our brain and our central nervous system is working better, then logic says that everything else is going to work better too. There might be other complications, but that's a direct relationship. Okay, great. We're going to keep going. We're clear? So what did we do? We hacked and harnessed the neurocoding to enhance our health. So what does that mean? I know there's a big word in there, neurocoding and all that stuff. Let me walk you through this. We spent 12 years on R&D. And what we decoded were the messages the brain needs to help our wellness, health, and performance. And these messages are just nervous signals. They're just signals that our brain generates and our body sends to our brain, okay? But we decoded those messages, those very specific messages that our brain needs to help our wellness, health, and performance. Over the last 12 years, I've decoded them. And I know what those messages mean. All those messages are just nerve signals, very specific nerve signals. Okay, so that's what we did over the last 12 years. We decoded those. No one else has decoded them. We decoded them. So we use our skin and the receptors. Receptors are different types of cells in and on our skin to send those messages to the brain. So when the patch is applied to the skin, the ridges of the pattern, see those ridges on the pattern, right? They trigger a neurosignal, a message through vibrotactile stimulation. So vibrotactile is a word that means something that is causing a sensation through touch. And it optimizes and resets those neural networks, those codes in our brain, okay? We clear on that? That's what it does. So I'm going to make it even easier to understand. Let me start here. So another easy way to understand this. So every bodily function in our physiology has a neural code, a message, including breathing, walking, balance, pain management, stress, sleep, immune response, and muscle recruitment, and everything else. Everything that we do physiologically, psychologically, emotionally, all of it has a neural code, a message that it needs to do what it's doing. These neural codes messages get damaged or stuck for a million reasons that lead to poor health, wellness, and performance, okay? When they're not working well or they're stuck, things don't work right. The patterns and the ridges on our patches are like QR codes that help repair those messages, allowing our bodies and mind to operate at its highest level. So all 8 super patches have their own unique QR code, meaning that each patch sends a unique message to the brain that corresponds to a specific function. You get it? So every patch is sending its own neural message, its own code to the brain, and it uses our skin receptors to send that message. Easy? Are we good on this? I just need some confirmation on the chat room. This is good? We understand this? Okay. Because I could go into the dang science on it, and all I'm going to do is confuse myself and you. Okay, we're on the same page. All right, good. All right, good. Let me keep going here. I need the new people, my new peeps, as they say, my new teammates, to get on, like, to you guys to understand this. You veterans, we've thrown enough balls and caught enough grenades. We're good. I want my new people here to be comfortable with this, right? So we can talk about, say, listen, what's this patch? Well, this patch, see these ridges on this patch, right? That's a pattern. When that pattern touches our skin receptors, it's like a QR code. It sends a very specific message to the brain that helps with different bodily functions. So the victory patch here helps with muscle recruitment, balance, strength, range of motion. Oh, and the sleep patch sends the code that helps our brain sleep, manage their sleep. And this is the stress code, and this is this code, and this is this code. Easy peasy, right? You don't have to get in, be a neuroscientist. You don't have to do any coding. You don't do any of that stuff. Leave that to me. I'll figure it out. Okay, good. I'm going to keep going. So we're good on that. Okay, so some fun facts. So people might say, well, how are the skin sending receptors? How is this? And you say, well, listen, actually, you might not know, and they probably don't know, okay, that in 1939, two eminent scientists who won the Nobel Peace Prize for helping develop the MRI published a paper while at Columbia University. So 83 years ago, the leading scientists of the time were proving that our bodies and actual cells constantly receive and transmit signals. So no one's going to argue, like, to say, listen, this is already proven. This is scientific fact. This has already happened. It's already happening. How do you think we get an MRI? So think about this. If every single cell was not transmitting a signal, how do we get MRI images? Think about it. The magnets are aligning those cells, and the cells are transmitting their frequency and their signal, and the system and the MRI grabs it and visualizes it. Just because we don't know doesn't mean it's not happening, right? I don't know how this thing works either. But it kind of controls my life lately. But that's a different story. Okay, but that's 83 years ago. Last year, the Nobel Prize for Physiology or Medicine was awarded to Dr. David Julius and Artem Patpotian. Okay, and what did they discover? Actually, we discovered it before they did, but that's okay. They looked at how the physical world sends information through the skin. And they won a Nobel Peace Prize for this, gang, okay? They identified the very specific cells that are responsible for detecting and converting touch and sensation into nerve impulses, messages in the sensory nervous system, our skin, and sending it to the brain. And they won a Nobel Peace Prize for this. Our science is no different than this. Our tech is no different than this, gang. We are using our skin to send messages to the brain, period. These really smart guys, 4 people here won the Nobel Peace Prize theorizing about what we actually have in practice. Okay? Because academia actually, have a different agenda sometimes. They're wonderful people and they want to help people. We actually have a practical application of the science because no one owns the science. We're good? So this is fun stuff. People go, well, how do you mean? I said, listen, 4 scientists have won 2 Nobel Prizes talking about how our cells send signals and how our skin sends signals. So this is not even a debatable point. Last year, they won the Nobel Prize saying, hey, the skin sends sensation to the brain, messages to the brain, very specific, complex messages. Okay? And 83 years ago, they proved that every single cell sends signals. So no one's, if they don't believe you, what can I do, right? What can we do? What can we do, right? But these are facts. So Jay's not some, I'm not taking some hallucinogenic here, okay? I'm not on ayahuasca or peyote or anything like this. This is 12 years of my life have gone into this. Okay, and this is for the benefit of helping people. Okay, but let's keep going. So we're good up to now, gang. We understand the real simple way how to talk about what we're doing over here. Okay, great. So the results are magical. When we apply our technology, our vibrotactile technology, vibrotactile is just sensation-causing technology that helps repair the neural code, the messages leading to a better functioning CNS. Okay, central nervous system. So what does that mean? So when our central nervous system is not working well, what happens? We get aches and pains, we get headaches, migraines, vertigo, we get digestion problems, we have trouble sleeping, low energy, high BP, arm, leg numbness, tingling, breathing issues. We have fatigue issues, depression issues, hormonal imbalances. All of this comes about if our nervous system isn't working well. When our nervous system is working well, we get great operating brain, our performance goes up, we have less pain, we have better posture, better thinking, better digestion, we're moving better, we're sleeping better, all those aches and pains and headaches go away, we have more energy, we have less stress, we have better cognition, our life changes. Every single aspect of our life changes when our neurology and our central nervous system is working better. These are facts, right? These are facts. Okay, so we have to know this. Oops, let me go back. Went too far. So what are the benefits that we've seen with our technology? We see more power, we see better speed, we see better range of motion, we see better muscle recruitment, we see better balance and stability, we see all of these amazing performance attributes that come from our technology, especially our Liberty patch and our Victory patch, right? It's the physiological, the biophysics of what's happening. But there's more, right? There's more. That's why the patch is so great. These benefits speak just to our socks and to our Liberty patch and our Victory patch, okay? But there's more because we've got so many more patches, so many more codes that are helping so many more people. So the new super patch benefits. Okay, so I'm going to stop here and I'm going to open up the chat. Are we all clear so far? Okay. Are we all clear so far? Okay, good. Because there's no point going further if we're stuck on 3 slides ago. Okay. Well, why somebody else does? There's always somebody that's first, Joetta. Once upon a time, somebody made the first computer, somebody made the first Coca-Cola, somebody made the first wheel, somebody made the fire. There's always the first, right? There's always somebody that does it first. So we're good. So I'm easy to go. I'm good to go on. Okay, we're gonna go. All of our socks that are available for sale have the same benefits. Okay. No, the Liberty patch is better than the Olace TP patch. Okay, so we're gonna get to that. You're getting ahead of yourself, Stacy, but I love it. It's great. I like eager beavers. So we're gonna talk about that. All of our patches are new. Okay, so we're gonna go. Let me just put that to the side. So here we go. Okay, first we have our Freedom patch. Deal with pain like never before. So what this patch is doing is sending a neural message or neural code, because the pattern on this one helps generate the neural code that helps our brain manage pain. Our brain has neurosignals, has neural patterns inside it that control our pain management. If they get disrupted or whatever's going on, what we're doing is optimizing and helping the pain management function of our brain. That's what this patch does. It sends the right code, and the brain goes, oh, I know what to do with this. This is the pain management code. And it starts dealing with the pain. Okay? And how does it do this? It's real simple. We already have these pre-programmed codes and messages in our brain. If they're not working well, we're not dealing with those issues well, right? So our pain management actually is a very complex set of neurosignals in our brain that helps our body deal with pain, right? What drugs do are mask the pain. So they're actually biochemically changing the receptors in our brain. What we're doing is not doing it through chemicals, we're doing it through brainwave signals. So every patch has its own QR code. Remember, like it's like a QR code, but it's just a very unique pattern that's sending those signals. So pain is the #1 health condition in the world, right? So just in the United States of America, 50 million people dealing with chronic pain. 8% of people have high impact chronic pain, right? And I'm just like, that's just chronic pain. Then we have regular aches and pains. We have arthritis. We have a bunch of other things that people are dealing with. And with the Freedom Patch, apply it as close as possible to where the pain is localized and trust the tech. And it starts sending those messages to the central nervous system, start dealing with that pain. Okay, that's what it does. Then we have our REM patch. Okay, so our sleep control in our brain, again, very complex messages that help regulate our sleep. If they go out of function, if they go out of whack, our sleep gets disrupted. We stop having great sleep, great REM sleep. Okay, so the REM patch generates a very specific signal, a very specific code through those very unique ridges that use our skin to send a message to the brain and saying, hey, we got to start regulating the sleep better, right? I don't think it says that exactly in those words, but in code, right? When we talk about it generates a code, every skin cell is emitting, every cell is emitting a signal. We're sending the right combination of signals that's triggering the brain to start managing our sleep mechanisms, our sleep cycles. Okay. So 70 million people in America suffer from chronic sleep problems. 70 million people. That's 1 out of 5. So what does that mean? People get hurt because they're tired, chronic diseases, mental illness, poor quality of life, poor quality of well-being, healthcare costs going through the roof, work productivity is lost. If we could help just people with sleep, honestly, if we could help 70 million Americans sleep better, we'd change the quality of life for the entire country. Because I know this, if I don't get enough sleep and I'm cranky, that impacts my wife, it impacts my kids, it impacts the my team at work, it impacts everything, right? And I think that applies to all of us. So that's why this is important. Now the peace patch. So stress is a bunch of neural circuits in our brain that are a little bit haywire, right? That are putting our emotional system into overdrive. Okay, that's what stress. That's how, if you look at brain maps, you look at neural imaging, you see how stress is manifested in brain waves. So what the peace patch does is it sends a neural signal to calm those stress signals down in our brain, and we come to peace, and we see this amazing calmness come over. But it starts here. It starts in our brain. It starts in our nervous system, right? It starts in our mind. And so 2 things before I go further, we have to understand this. The brain and our mind are 2 different things. The brain is the physical gray matter with the neurons and everything else, and the blood and the tissue and this and the liquids and the neurotransmitters and the chemicals. The mind is the software in the brain. Okay, the mind is the connectivity, is the neural signals, is the memories, is the conscious and the subconscious all working together. It uses the physical part of the brain to actually execute what's happening. Okay, it's very complex, but just always remember that, right? The brain and the mind are 2 different things. Okay, are 2 different things. And the peace is not necessarily, peace patch is not working necessarily on the hardware. It's working on the software. All of our technology works on the software. All of our technology works on the messaging, not on the actual impact of the physical part of the brain. Okay, we got to be sure on this. So we don't, be like, oh, are you changing the chemical makeup? No, because there's no chemicals involved here. What we're working with is the software that actually controls everything. Remember we talked about those messages, those neural codes. That's what we're working with, and they touch all parts of the brain. They touch every region of the brain, and they do it instantly. So defend patch. So how important is immune support for people? 50 million people last year are buying products and services for over $20 billion and growing. So, and it really kicked up when COVID started, right? So they're not my work, but scientists have shown the connection between the brain and our immune response. I actually did a presentation Thursday night on COVID-induced brain fog, about how a viral infection led to neural inflammation, which led to cognitive decline, right? And the defend patch plays a critical role in reclaiming that, and fixing that and getting back to normal, right? So again, what this patch is doing is sending a signal that harmonizes the brain immune connection, right? Very complex patch. Okay. This used to be such a big patch. It used to be a 2x4. It used to be twice the size, right? You guys remember those Neurovax patches, the 2x4 patches? It used to be a very big patch because it has to do, the messaging is so complex. So it took me a couple of years to make it into 2x2 patch. It took a lot of work to shrink it because, people had a hard time wearing it. The 2x4 was a lot big and all this, so we needed to improve the customer experience with that. So it took a couple of years, but I was able to reduce it and make it into 2x2, which optimizes our brain immune connection. So what it does is it stabilizes our immune response. It stabilizes. So what does that mean? It stabilizes our allergic response. It stabilizes how our immune system is working or not working. Sometimes our immune system gets stuck and it's not responding. The defend patch is absolutely great for that. The other thing it's absolutely great for is holding any progress that we've made, right? And so, how sometimes people are recovering something and they get relapses, a little micro trauma happens and they relapse right back, right? The defend patch really protects against that relapse of falling back into a lower state. So I'll give you an idea. So for concussions, right? If people are recovering from concussions and they're using our flow patch and they're using our Liberty patch, I always tell people wear the defend patch for at least 30 days while you're doing that, because it holds our software, our brain software, and it protects it from those micro traumas that might cause us to fall back in our recovery. And that's absolutely important, right? But this is of all the patches that we have, this is the most complex patch because it's doing some incredible things, right? It's one of my favorite patches because I know how much work went into designing this thing. This is absolutely a game-changing patch for health and wellness, right? And we've got a number of studies we're going to launch with this patch because there's so many different things that it does that we can't say right now. But immune support, we can say all those things, defend your health like never before. It does incredible things. Okay, we're good on that. Flow patch. Okay, so we have the eSmarter sleeve, the CBT Tech. This is the CBT Tech, but way more advanced, works way faster, way better results. Okay, because think about it. I took a sleeve that was about that big, the pattern was about that big, and we made it a 2x2. Okay. This product sends a signal, sends the message to all 5 cognitive networks. Okay. It sends a message to our default network, right, in our brain. It sends a message to our executive function, a decision-making network. It sends a message to our attention network. It sends a message to our memory network. Okay. And it sends a message to our information flow network. It sends a message to every major cognitive network, because what it's trying to deal with is the ADHD and cognitive decline, because those things sometimes get confused for one another. I'll say that, and I'll say this, and somebody can call the cops if they want. If every one of us wears a flow patch starting today, I can give you in writing, and if you get it, you can come back and we can talk about it. This will prevent dementia and Alzheimer's. I'm absolutely convinced of this. It will prevent it. If you don't have it, you won't get it if we wear this regularly. That's how powerful this patch is. It is stabilizing and restoring those cognitive functions that are associated with ADHD, ADD, any cognitive decline. Okay. We get to maintain our senses. My mom wears this patch every day. Mom's had MS for 40 years. Her sight, her speech, her hearing, her thinking, her memory, as sharp as it was when she was 35 years old. No decline. No decline. She wears all of our tags, right? But I know what this is doing. And if I recommend it, and if I make my mom wear it, I'll make everybody's mom wear it. Okay. This is a game-changing product. I mean, this is so wonderful, this product. Right? We don't want to just live longer. We want to live well. We want to live healthy. We want control of our faculties, right? We want those for our parents. We want it for our grandparents. We want it for everyone. Right? We want to be productive members of society. We want to enjoy our lives. Okay. And this patch is so key for that. I tell you, but listen, if you're 50 plus, slap a patch on. I wear one every day. I wear my Liberty patch. I wear my Flow patch. And I wear my Defend patch. 3 patches every day. I don't leave the house without them. Right? So, well, Jay, why do you listen? I'm 52 years old. I know what this does. Right? And I know how much stress I put on my brain. I know. Focus is not my problem. Stress is not my problem. I'm pretty good at dealing with those things. But my cognitive ability, I need to be able to think and use my faculties and not get exhausted. I can't afford to lose a step mentally. Right? So I manage my health. I get the best physical results that I need with Liberty. I hold those things and I protect myself with Defend, and I protect the noodle with the Flow patch. Focus. This is for anybody that needs to concentrate, especially our kids and our grandkids. Because I did that talk, and you guys should watch that. It's online, about how our kids' focus has been stolen from them. There's a generation of people right now who have been trained by these social media apps and other media apps to switch between one thing and another thing, and all they keep doing is switching back and forth, and they've lost the ability to focus. This resets that focus message in our brain, the focus networks in our brain. It resets them. It brings them back online so we can actually focus on what we want to do. So 55 million kids from kindergarten to grade 12. I have nieces and nephews aged 9 through 15, maybe 16. Anyways, there's a lot of kids in our family. When they come over, all they're doing is they're on their phones, they're on their iPads, clickety click, clickety click. They're sitting in a group, but all they're doing is going back and forth between TikTok and this and that, and I see it. And I see it. I think we all see it, right? We got to help these kids get back on track, because focus is the key to life success. Does everybody need this? No. Do kids need this in today's day and age? Absolutely. If you have a high stress job where concentration is the key and there's a lot of distractions in your workplace, yeah, absolutely. I think truckers should be wearing this. I think anybody that works with heavy machinery should be wearing this. Pilots should be wearing this. I've got a lot of medical friends. I got doctors and dentist friends that are wearing this. They're like, yeah, dude, because what they have to do is so important. Okay, and then Liberty patch. So Liberty patch is the next level of the HPT patch. It's the next level. We've made some tweaks. We've made some improvements. Energy, balance, stability, relief from aches and discomfort, recovery. Right? If you're tired, you need to move around more. You need more energy. You need more vitality. You need more vigor in your life, or anyone, Liberty patch is the way to do it. Liberty patch is the way to do it. 600 million people are searching on Google for solutions for poor balance. So let me say that. Do a Google search, type in poor balance. You're going to see 600 million people searching for solutions. Because what is our doctor going to recommend for poor balance and stability? What is our doctor going to recommend for fall risks? What is our doctor going to recommend? So nothing. They got nothing for balance, stability, and fall risk. Okay, so we're clear. I already know the answer. I'll tell you. They have nothing. They have absolutely nothing for fall risk, balance, stability, improvement. They have nothing. So now we get to mobility. What do they have for mobility? Take a painkiller, go for a walk. Get a knee replacement. Get a hip replacement. Right? Invasive stuff. Or here's get a walker. Get a cane. Those are the solutions. Take a pill for your pain and go for a walk. Right? What do they have for energy? Drink this, eat that, do this, do that. Think about all the solutions that are available to us, that are being recommended to us. But all of those things, energy, balance, stability, recovery, all of those things are neural codes in our brain. And this patch sends that signal to the brain, says, hey, let's get these things working correctly again. Let's get these things working correctly again. And that's what the patch does. And it happens instantly. You improve people's balance, stability instantly. A knee replacement won't improve somebody's stability or balance. We know this, right? A hip replacement won't improve somebody's balance or stability. The size and shape of somebody's feet has no impact on their balance stability. Balance stability is a neurological function. It's a brain function. And we impact it instantly. How we generate and consume energy is a neurological function. We do that. Our posture is neurological. We do that with this patch. It's absolutely brilliant. And people looking for help. So it's not like we have to go find somebody in a secret part of the city, right? This is everybody. Everybody's looking for this. We just have to talk to them about it. Right? We have to talk to them about mobility issues. We have to talk to them about, hey, what's your energy level like? Hey, balance stability. Say, listen, our balance stability never used to be what it was when we were younger. Yeah. What are you doing about it? What are we all doing about fall risk? The world has no solution. This is the only solution in the world for fall risk, for balance stability, for more energy, all in one. And then victory patch. So muscle recruitment is a big part of athletic performance. I think we all know that. And so this patch amps up that muscle recruitment. So athletes can jump higher, lift more weight, push harder, run faster. All those amazing things come from this patch. Okay. A little bit less pain management, more muscle recruitment, because there's only so much tech I could put in one patch, right? So not as much on the pain management, not as much on the aches and pains, but way super great on the power, strength, agility side. So who's this? 64 million people in the gym. So people are paying anywhere between $25 and $150 a month to go to the gym. 64 million people are doing that. I don't know how many people have a Peloton at home, but they're paying money every month to do that. 8 million teenagers play high school sports. 50 million Americans run every day. 48 million Americans cycle regularly. 24 million golfers. A lot of people, all pursuing their passion, and a million other passions, whether it's bowling, long darts, whatever that is. If they're passionate about their sport or their physical activity, we can help them be the best version of themselves. And all we're doing is sending the signals that control power, strength, agility, balance, stability. Okay. So I'm going to stop there. That's a lot. Okay. Are we good? Are we good on this? Because that's a lot. Good. So that's what I'm going to do today. Okay. Because more than that, it's 45 minutes and then we're going to choke on the rest. So that's a lot to absorb. But we all got to watch this and we got to share it with our teams. Okay. It's being recorded. It'll be in the back office. You'll be able to send it to whoever you want. And this is what's absolutely important. Right? So all the patches you can wear anywhere. The freedom patch you want to put as close to where the pain is localized. Okay? Clear? Yeah, the Liberty patch is the Harmony patch, but better. does the same things that it did before. It does everything the Harmony patch does, but does it better and faster. Okay. How young can you use it? I got nieces and nephews, 5 years old, wearing our stuff. Right. My pain is nagging little things around the body. Put it on your arm then, Greg. No worries. It'll help you out. How about 2 years old? Might irritate the skin a bit because 2 years old basically have the softest skin in the world, right? So that adhesive might irritate them a bit. But you know, talk to the parent, man. If I had a 2-year-old, I'd use it, right? Because there's no chemicals involved, there's no risk involved. Every patch lasts 24 hours. Put it on in the morning, put it on your alarm clock, give yourself a message, replace patch, put it on, put it off. You can use all 8 patches at once, Lambert. You might be going on your back. You look like international postage, though. If you go to the post office, they might mail you somewhere, right? So, you got to be careful. Right, and the sleep patch. Listen, if you have trouble sleeping, put it on an hour before you go to bed. As soon as you wake up, peel it off. Right, you don't need it. But that's the key, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for participating this morning. Like I said, I wear 3 patches a day. I no issue at all. That's what I do. So thank you. And exciting new patches coming. Okay, so our metabolic optimization patch that helps burn calories is coming. Our Kick It patch, which helps people fight and get rid of bad habits, that's coming soon. And then I'm working on a great patch that's going to help people stay optimistic and stay happy. And that's coming soon. Okay. But this is it, right, gang? So as long as we know what we're talking about here and we share this, because this is the thing, you have to be comfortable talking about what it does. So that's why at the very beginning of this, I walked you, I tried to walk everyone through a very simple, basic understanding of how to talk about this, right? But the basic understanding is this: if I'm talking to anybody, so I say to people, this product and our technology is only for people that believe that a healthy brain leads to a healthy body. Can we agree on that? Right? If people don't believe that a healthy brain can lead to a healthy body, then we got nothing for them, because that's what we have. We have things that make our neurology and our nervous system better, that leads to a better body, better psychology, better emotions, all those amazing things happen. But if somebody says, well, I only believe in pills, or I only believe in this, then nothing you have is going to help, right? Nothing that I have is going to help, because I don't do those. I don't do pills. I don't do surgery. I do drug-free. I do drug-free. We all do drug-free. We want to do drug-free. Okay. Let me go. I got to go. I'm going to see you guys really, really soon. Have a wonderful weekend, and thank you for joining us today. Bye-bye for now.